Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pravus Gaming with more Rimworld Call of Cthulhu. In the last video, we got raided and someone tried to kidnap Zealotus, but we tabled the turns, and instead we got Biobalkamga kidnapped. And she is going to be an interesting character for us. The left kidney being destroyed is unfortunate but fixable. Asthma, a little bit harder to deal with, but we can still make that work. Biggest downside for me personally with this character is the volatile personality trait, which means she's going to be having mental breaks pretty often. That said, though, it's pretty rare that you get a character with burning passions in 4 skills that are sufficiently leveled up to be useful right off the bat. So since we know in about 12 days, Flea Strike, Francis, and Boris are going to be leaving us, I kind of like the idea of keeping Biobalkamga around. We'll have to rename that, of course, because that is a little bit of a mouthful. All right, so there are a few things we need to address for the base, and I did see some comments about this, and I appreciate people who do leave comments and try to give me some feedback for improvement. I know I'm not the most responsive about that, partly because, one, I just forget. I mean, YouTube's very much a stream of consciousness thing, and if I'm not thinking about it actively, then I'm just not going to think about it at all. But also, I don't know, I mean, I like kind of just stumbling along sometimes. I like frustrating you guys, it's funny. There are a few things I do remember, though. One, we should just go ahead and move the wind turbine. Yes, I know, we built a hallway in here, and it messed it up. I'm sorry, I noticed it too, and we need to, like, move this darn thing. Wait, can I not move it? Do we have to deconstruct it? I thought we could move a wind turbine. Hang on, cancel this. Weird, I thought that you could. I could have sworn you could. All right, well, we're going to have to just deconstruct the wind turbine, I guess, and build it somewhere else. Fortunately, we're not relying on it for any power, but we can solve that issue. Another recommendation I saw was to change up some of our growing over here. Let's get rid of, let's say, for example, this beetroot. Come on, there we go. Get rid of this and replace it with some heal roots, because right now, Francis has a high enough skill at 11 that we can actually grow some medicine, but none of our base characters have a skill of 8 or higher, so this is our only chance to grow some proper medicine, at least until we get a new character with better skill, and I think that makes a lot of sense. Another recommendation I saw was to go ahead and wall off the geothermal generator so we can start siphoning steam into the base and not need any heaters, which, by the way, it's warm enough outside that I think we can mostly turn these suckers off and save ourselves some power. So that's a very interesting idea. Just walling off the geothermal generator. It's the sort of thing that only makes sense in a game like Rimworld, where you can get away with that kind of stuff, right? Think about it. Have you ever been around a steam geyser? It's freaking hot, and steam is deadly. And even if it's not going to kill anybody, just siphoning steam into the base is going to turn this whole place into a giant sauna or spa or a Japanese ryokan. That's what it's called, right? I think it might be what it's called. Either way, and even if that isn't a problem, imagine the hot steam making contact with these cold stone walls and condensing. Look at the wooden floors. Can you imagine the water damage? That said, though, it's actually not a bad idea at all. We may very well decide we want to do that. Right now, I don't have any power issues, but come winter, that might be worth doing. Certainly when I have a geothermal generator, I think that does make a lot of sense. A couple other things I forgot over here. Let's just go ahead and place down a couple of graves, because we don't want to have a corpse sitting next to my door. That's just going to give me some nasty mood penalties. Anything else I feel like I really need to worry about right now? No, I think it's mostly just going to come down to building up the kill box, which means I need a lot more stone, and I need a lot more wood, and I need to have people actually dedicated to this, because it's going to be very easy for people to get distracted. Angle losses inspired creativity. Boo! All right, I knew that wasn't going to last forever. We don't get a special sculpture after all. By the way, apparently somebody left a comment on this. Apparently I do have access to some of these sculptures right off the bat, but getting the research unlocks even more, I guess. Anyway, another thing I forgot to mention, I did add in a new mod to the mod pack, and I will try to remember to update the mod list on Steam as well. But it wasn't sitting very well with me that in the shallow water and in the marsh, I'm going to have to use wooden walls on these bridges. Don't like that very much. So, what I'm going to do is install a mod called Simply More Bridges. And it's not immediately going to be useful to me, but if we open up our research tab, we can see right here, heavy bridges and deep water bridges, which is pretty useful. It will let me build up on the deep water. But mainly, I'm going to use this to build heavier structures on those heavy steel or stone bridges. So we can actually have proper walling, which means this stuff is going to be less vulnerable, less likely to just break down on me at any given moment. I'm also going to cancel some of these, and we're going to replace it with some slate embrasures. We use slate embrasures and such, or just embrasures in general, in the last series to great effect. They're like sandbags in that they are defensive structures, in this case a wall, that people can still shoot through. But in this case, I don't have to use steel, and I think they're technically a little bit better for defense than a sandbag. So this makes a lot of sense in our kill box. As people come around the corner, everyone's behind defensive cover, shooting right into this spot. That makes a lot of sense to me. My wife just leaned over and reminded me that people were also commenting that they want to see both Fahrenheit and Celsius. To my knowledge, you can't do both. I can do Kelvin, but who works in Kelvin these days? Yeah, no, we're using Fahrenheit. I'm sorry to all my non-American viewers, which is quite a few of you, but I use freaking Fahrenheit. That's what I think in. If I try switching over to Celsius, I will get everyone killed, so we're not going to worry about that. And Strike got food poisoning from poisoned beets. Oh, that's sad. And Strike then immediately went on a tantrum and is now going and busting everyone's stuff. Aren't you lovely? Thank you, Strike. Gosh, I love you so dang much. I can't wait to get rid of you. Now, we did just finish up with our gas operation research, which means now we can get some proper guns instead of bows. So now's the time to start looking for something to replace those bows. Mostly, I like using charge rifles and assault rifles. They're pretty darn good as far as their damage, their range, their accuracy, etc. Some of the better weapons in the vanilla game, but we don't have access to those yet. So, for our immediate purposes, what we want is a weapon in pretty good short to medium range for our kill box in particular. Best weapon I can probably think of here would be the heavy SMG. 1.65 second range cooldown, has pretty good damage, 3 burst fire rate, and decent accuracy across the board. So this is not bad, pretty good armor penetration too. We'll use this. Other options would be the LMG. So we can just spray bullets. They're very inaccurate, but they can do some good damage. Tommy gun, not bad. Machine pistol, not bad. At some point, we should definitely be getting ourselves an EMP launcher, because that would be very helpful against the inevitable mechanoid strike. And also the smoke launcher, which can be very good for creating cover scenarios for our melee characters to get a lot closer to enemies. But I'm not going to worry about that quite yet. Let's go ahead and start butchering some creatures, and we're running out of meals, so Zealotus, I know you're feeling bad, but I need you to get up and start cooking stuff, because people are going to get sick eating raw beets. They might just get food poisoning. It's happened once before, it can happen again. Oh, Strike is throwing a party. Well, that's not very good for my productivity, but it certainly is going to be good for everyone's mood buffs. That's awesome. And new lovers. Boris pursued Frances by describing her as a delicate star. Frances was attracted and is now Boris's lover. Well, I would normally bother dealing with that, except I don't feel like I need to, because these guys are leaving in like 10 days anyway. Still, that's rather exciting. Good for you guys. And a caravan from the agency is approaching. A combat supplier with the uncle of Zealotus. Why does Zealotus seem to have a lot of family members on this planet? I guess it would make sense. Angle may not be native to this planet. He came here to seek adventure, but Zealotus was the naked lady who came charging through the woods. Okay, that actually does make a little bit of sense then. Well, grand. Angle, time to go and meet some of your family members. Where the heck is the leader? There are so many pop-up freaking bubbles, it's hard to know what's going on. Let's go trade and see what they got. Not a lot that I can use. Some medicine would not be a bad idea. Ambrosia can be very nice for a temporary mood buff, so I'm not going to get rid of that. We can certainly get rid of some of our worthless weapons we're not going to use. Maybe some of these bows, don't need those. We did finish making our SMG. Good, I'm going to hold on to this sucker. A Wand of Lightning. Ooh, that sounds like a lot of fun. Wait, for real, what is this? What's this going to do? Wand able to slowly convert nearby arcane energy into elemental lightning, used for focusing tools to harness innate power more than as a weapon itself. Good for mages. And fighters, apparently? Fascinating. Huh. That seems like a lot of fun, but I'm not sure I'm going to worry about that. That said, though, we can actually see that this is created in an electric smithy, a field smithy, a crafting spot, and an arcane forge. So if we want to make those for ourselves in the future, we know that we're going to be able to do that. A Chthonian Chiton infantry uniform. Well, that sounds rather exciting. Anything else here I really want to get? I mean, plasma sword and mono sword sound pretty fun, but they're a bit on the expensive side. And you don't have any of the scrolls I would need to give somebody a proper magical class. So we're just going to go ahead and accept a little bit of silver here and have to ignore some of the rest, which is unfortunate. I really would like to get some magical classes for people. Just because, I mean, once Flea and Strike are gone, that's going to be a huge power loss on my end, but that's fine. We'll make do. Well, we haven't been doing any research for a little bit. Let's fix that and go for, I think, maybe the sterile materials. Could be very good for me when I do want to get some sort of a hospital, also maybe a better research area, some more sterile environments for our food so people don't get food poisoning. All of that would be quite good, and then we should go ahead and continue with some of our occult research and stuff. We'll stagger it a little bit so that Flea doesn't lose too much sanity. So we'll finish it with sterile research, and then we'll go for, let's say, maybe altar of sacrifice, so we can upgrade our altar, and then maybe ritual attire is something else I would like. We could also probe for some more occult deities, which isn't a bad idea. I'm still trying to get Dagon to pay attention to me, but I mean, if he's not going to pay attention, why not Cthulhu or somebody else? Oh, what happened to Mad Squirrel? No! Well, that's good. I mean, honestly, it's going to be fine. These guys are going to take care of it for me. Thank you for killing the squirrel. Hope you're okay there, Haas. Oh, I just noticed we gave birth to some puppies. How many did we get? Two puppies. Okay, well, they're not old enough to learn how to haul things yet, but we can train them in guard duty ahead of time. That way, when they do reach adulthood, they're actually going to be useful to me. Another thing I think I want to do is go ahead and set up some more recreation. I'm thinking like a shooting target somewhere. Somewhere safe where people aren't going to accidentally get themselves shot. How about over the water? That way I don't have to worry about bullets flying off in this direction and hitting somebody. But this is a good way of some people getting some more recreation and at the same time training up their shooting skill, which is just better in my opinion than placing down one of these horseshoe pins. So I like the idea of getting rid of that. Also maybe a martial arts target so that people can do something else. Oh, come on! My heal root all got blighted? I didn't even have a chance to get any medicine! Ugh! Frustrating. All right, well, there goes all that nonsense. Okay, this is weird. Zealotess apparently can't figure out that she wants to equip beer as a sidearm, so she's just going back and forth, tossing it around. Okay, you know what? We're forbidding that beer, Zealotess. Go somewhere else. That's a funny bug. I'm not sure why beer would even be considered a sidearm, but there you go. Okay, sterile materials are done. Let's go ahead and start working on that altar of sacrifice. Now, that's not quite enough of an upgrade for us to do human sacrifices, only to sacrifice like animals and food and so on, but we'll be able to upgrade that to level 3 eventually. The good news is the occult research tends to go pretty darn fast, so I don't think it's going to take us very long to unlock. Altar of sacrifice is done. All right, let's go ahead and press the button and upgrade it, and boom, it looks a little bit more occulty than it did before. It's facing the right direction, right? I think it is. So if we go to sacrifice here, we can offer various different offerings to Dagon, whoever it's going to be, including plants, meat, meals. Obviously, the larger and better quality that's going to be, we can get a lot more standing. Also, we can sacrifice our animals. If we want to sacrifice, let's say, one of our husky puppies, we could do that. Does Dagon like puppy blood? I'll bet you he does. He strikes me as the kind of person who would. Yes, I know I need to trim all this stuff. I'm worrying about getting other materials so I can finish the kill box. Sue me. We'll come back and we'll get this. I'm not in a huge hurry. Manhunter pack. Uh-oh. Okay, what do we got? Manhunting squirrels in the... Oh my god, that is so many squirrels. Okay, well, the good news is the kill box is just about done. The bad news is I'm not sure how much difference that's going to make. So, real quick, we need to set up a door. It can be just a simple wooden one for now. Did I place it? I did not. Hang on. Go here. Angle, I need you to wake up and go and deal with this now so we can close the door. Squirrels are going to be pretty quick, I think, but there we go. This just give me, like, what was that song? We are squirrels. It's like that, but just imagine, like, dozens of squirrels charging over the hill. Oh, God, it's just stuff straight out of a horror film. Well, let's go ahead and close up the door. That way, we at least are able to protect ourselves if necessary. And looks like they're going to be wandering over here, so we should make sure everyone is properly restricted and not let these suckers in. Give me a second to set up some proper zones. There we go. That should set up a proper home area. Now everyone is going to be restricted in here until I say otherwise. We don't want to risk opening up any doors. I might draw some of them toward us. I mean, squirrels aren't exactly hard to kill, per se. So maybe we do just kind of run in and try to get their attention and draw them into the kill box, and we'll slaughter a bunch of them. Or we could just wait them out. But, man, that's the thing. There's so many of them, and they are hard to hit. They're low HP, but they're very hard to hit. I don't know. I mean, is it worth just waiting them out? That's several days that I can't go outside, and I'm not exactly a fan of that arrangement. Angle, I want you to go and work on this. It's outside of the allowed area. Hang on. Draft. Let's go wander into the swamp and see if we can draw the attention of a few squirrels. Cameron, you get over here. I guess... Ooh, I have an idea. We could set down a fog of torment and torment the squirrels to death. It's perfect. Okay, hang on. Is that drawing attention? It seems to have. Okay, hang on. Here they come. All right, here come a handful of squirrels. It's not a lot of squirrels, but it's some squirrels, and now we can make use of the embrasures. So you guys keep coming after me, and now this is the kill box at work. Now, the problem with these wooden walls is it's not going to be very difficult to break them up with bullets. So this is one of the reasons I want to replace them with heavier walls in the near-ish future. But okay, let's go ahead and send Angle to go and get some more. Looks like a few more are on the way. Okay, that's at least 3 more squirrels. I'd like more than that, but I think now we need to start backing up. Okay, here they come. Frickin' squirrels. We can deal with you, though. Come on. Get in here. Cargo pods. What do we get? Something to tempt me to come outside. What is it? It is a whole bunch of steel. Well, that's definitely tempting. I will happily make use of that, but first I need to slaughter some frickin' squirrels. We got a little bit of a pest control problem over here. Oh, Lord, and now the elk herd is coming in for revenge. Well, this is a good sign. Okay, well, we We can Fog of Torment this approximate area. Oh, and Strike is down. Okay, well, the elk have obtained their revenge. All in all, not that bad as far as damage is concerned. It's not too bad, but the problem is now they're all manhunters, so we are going to have to come and kill the elk next because this has been the episode of Crazed Animals, apparently. No, that's fine. We can handle it. It's no big deal. Someday I may actually want to put some embrasures right outside these doors, kind of like we did for the Zombieland series. That was a pretty smart way of doing things. Angle, where the frick are you? Get over here, dude. What's wrong? Oh, you also have food poisoning. Everyone's got food poisoning these days. It's great. It's just great. And we just finished researching human sacrifices, which means now we upgrade the altar to level 3, and boom, it's got a little skull on it, so you know it's deadly. Cool, this means that now we can totally sacrifice our prisoners anytime we dang well want to, or even some of our willing colony members if we really don't like them for some reason, but I'm hoping that is not going to be a thing anytime soon. Okay, anything else we feel like we really need right now? Prosthetics would not be a bad idea, just go ahead and get this. It's one of those things where we may not need it right now, but I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, if that makes any sense. I'm also going to go ahead and start building out some new structures, mainly for a good production area and also a sterile research/hospital area. Also placing down sterile floors in the freezer. I'm going to move my my stove in there as well because I'm tired of people getting food poisoning and vomit everywhere. It's disgusting, dude. And now we're being attacked by a frickin' raccoon. I swear, I don't know what Lovecraft is doing, but this is apparently the time when he wants to just send all the animals into berserk. This might be an omen of terrible things yet to come. By the way, before I forget, let's go ahead and change up our storyteller here, because I don't know if the 2 times population thing is what's causing the issue with multiple spawns whenever we have events and or quests, but I'm just going to go ahead and see if that fixes it. And I know some people think that may not be the issue. Maybe last time, you know, we got attacked by some tribes up here and then also the same tribe down here and we just weren't paying attention. Possible. However, in some of my playtests for this mod pack, I did observe that whenever we took a quest that, for example, would spawn 2 tribespeople, we would get 2 and then another spawn of 2. It was a consistent reproducible error where I was getting double the enemies I was supposed to. Which, depending on the enemies, may not be a big deal, but at least at the time it seemed like a pretty big deal to me, so we're going to try to avoid that. I might be out of silver, by the way. Am I out of silver? No, I got plenty of silver. I'm not sure why we're not even able to build any more of these sterile tiles. Maybe we're out of steel. No, we got plenty of steel. I don't know what the problem is, but yeah, well, I still want these sterile floors up. We're almost ready to end this video, though. I did get the kill box up and running. That's exciting. I do need to get enough steel that we will be able to place down some turrets. That would obviously make my life a heck of a lot easier as well. Oh, frickin' heck. Zealotess just got a frickin' infection in her arm. That is a problem. Could absolutely get her killed. Let's see. Immunity is at 4% and infection spreading. We're using regular medicine now. Boris is going to get her tended. An 87% quality tend. That's pretty darn good. All right, so we should be able to build up immunity far faster than the infection at this point. So she's going to be fine, but obviously that is not exactly ideal, is it? Oh, the shuttle has arrived right in the middle of the river. Bad placement, but okay. So this is here to pick up Flea, Strike, Francis, and Boris, but it's not going to leave for 3 days, so we can get just a little bit more out of these guys if we hold off on the shuttle. I'm not quite done crafting some stuff, so we're not gonna let them leave, not yet. Except now we have even more elk revenge. Run! Oh, good, and now Strike has also developed an infection. Well, the good news is I don't care about that one, because we're just going to toss you in the shuttle, and that'll be someone else's problem. You arrived to us injured, and you're going to leave injured and on the verge of death. I don't actually feel any particular sense of loyalty to you after that. Okay, well, the good news is the heal route is about done. So we're not going to have to worry about that too much. I'm moving some stuff into a production area now. I did have to build some bridges here, so it looks a little discolored, and that's also why we can't build heavy things on top of it. But even so, the hospital room is making some good progress. I will move my research bench in there. And yeah, we seem to be doing A-okay, aside from the fact that everyone's been injured by animals today. Lovely! And now we get an infestation of giant freaking insects. Okay, wow, that seems just great. I was planning on trying to get these guys into the shuttle, but now I'm thinking maybe we should just go ahead and end this video. We're going to have one last big stand with Flea, Strike, Francis, and Boris attacking the giant bugs. Using their magic, we have 1.7 days to deal with this before the shuttle has to leave. So I think we're going to try for that. Then we'll send them away. We're going to get ourselves a new engineer, and we've almost got Byral Bukamga on our side. Not much longer before she will be willing to join, so we're almost ready for that. Otherwise, good progress on the base today. I feel happy about this. We have a kill box up and running. I'm just going to have to build some turrets, and everything will be just fine and dandy. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, then I would ask you hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.